everyone. Welcome and thanks for tuning in to the Bipolar Cat. I'm your host, Amanda Lee, ready to tell you the most there is about bipolar disorder and mental illness. So, today's episode is going to be a bit of a strange one. And for that reason, saying is because there is something I found out that actually exists that I'd like to share with you all. And I don't know if you all suffer from it, but I know I do. And that is health anxiety. Okay. Now, health anxiety is a disorder, uh, a psychiatric condition that causes people to excessively worry and stress about becoming seriously ill. Now, as for me, any little sign of physical symptoms or sensations, I start to freak out. That's just me. I don't know if anybody else experiences this as well. I thought I was the only one until I found out online that there's actually a thing called health anxiety. And it's actually an illness anxiety disorder. And I'm not too sure I'm a huge sufferer of it, but I do completely stress out, and any little sign of illness, I immediately panic and I get panic attacks. And it's so debilitating sometimes to the point where that's all I'm just ruminating and thinking about the whole day or the night before, and just wondering like for instance, if I do get a cold or flu, any first sign of a runny nose or a cough or anything like that, I start to freak out. And I don't know the underlying cause. All I know is that it is a thing, it does exist, and what are some of the things that cause anxiety disorder? A lot of health experts don't know. But people just develop illness anxiety disorder, and I just, when I am prone to illness, I get really anxious. And I guess it has to do with maybe childhood trauma that I probably endured as a young girl. As a young child, I was always in and out of the doctor's offices with bronchitis and having surgeries, got my tonsils removed. And, as a very young girl, that can be scary and damaging. Well, to me it was, and I have this intense fear of just having a serious condition, and I worry about any minor symptom. And, it's really ridiculous now that I think about it, but, it is real and people do suffer from it. Now, is health anxiety a form of OCD? It could be. It just depends on your thoughts and anxieties related to your illness. And, there are treatments for both. So hopefully, anybody who has heard of health anxiety illness, I would love to explore it a little more. And, I wouldn't say it's a hypochondriac kind of thing because it's not too severe. At least mine isn't. I'm pretty sure there's some people, it's very common among people to have it. And how can you break the cycle of health anxiety? What's a good way? And it's a vicious cycle. And is it possible to break the cycle of health anxiety? One thing that worries me so much is how worried I get about getting sick. It's like a repeated thing. Any little thing that I get, whether it's a comment from my health provider or my doctor, or any little sign, I just get excessively anxious and I need reassurance. And not being reassured can really put you in a downward spiral and a down cycle of just rumination and creating thoughts that probably aren't really there. And it's kind of sad for me to experience this. And, I always thought it was like something that I dealt with on my own. I didn't know it was an actual thing until I saw a comment on a social media platform about health anxiety. And I read on about this post about this person that had posted. And I was like, wow, those are some of the same symptoms that I've gone through and that I've dealt with. And, I do get feelings of frustration and fear, uncertainty, worry, and especially anxiety. I don't know what is it or why I experience with this struggle, but it is a symptom that I should discuss with my doctor. And, this is new to me. So I thought I would make an episode on it and talk to you guys a little bit about it because it does exist and nobody really talks about it. I mean, I've never heard it talked about till I saw that post. And even then, I thought I was the only one suffering from this. Turns out there's a lot of people with perceived notions about their health and the anxiety it causes when they get sick or when they feel signs of sickness. So, how can you overcome it? And a way to overcome it is by feeling safe, I think. When I do get the health anxiety and it does come up and it does creep up, I need to feel safe in my own body because it could be mentally scarring me. And I need to feel safe somehow. And, I do little concoctions of nice homemade remedies and teas to kind of ease my anxiety. But, we have to be able to enjoy the moment of our lives, not having to fully worry about where our health will take us in the future or in the present, or if you are experiencing an underlying condition. It's just, it is unpleasant to have this anxiety. And if you struggle from it, I would suggest you talk to someone about it or look it up, some information on it, look up some info and try to get some resources or, connect with other people that may be experiencing this same thing. And another important thing is to discuss with your psychiatrist or psychologist. So yeah, and I guess things and ways you can break the cycle would just be, seeking reassurance is not always the best thing to help you cope, but it does help. It helps me. Reassurance does help me from my loved ones, my peers, my friends and family, and it's seeking reassurance can be a little damaging, I think, but it is helpful in another sense. It is. And, a good thing to do is probably keep your mind occupied with other things that you love to do. Like, for instance, if you like writing stories or reading or cooking or just anything in general of that sense, do those things that make you feel happy. And it's a very sad thing to experience from my personal experience. I mean, I really just go deep into a depression sometimes. And it's just this vicious cycle over in my head, over and over. And I can't sometimes get the anxiety symptom to stop. And it's just there. And, sometimes I have panic attacks. I do. And it's a vicious cycle, but it does exist and it is out there. And whoever's listening, if you do suffer from this, you are not alone. I am right there with you. I completely understand. And I mean, is there treatment? I mean, I don't know. I haven't looked too much information into that. But I think a good way to help treat yourself is, lifestyle changes like relaxing techniques, avoiding excessive health-focused type of research like Google, am I dying? Google, what does this symptom mean? Google, everybody Googles their symptoms right away. And if it says something debilitating or scary or, it just really can send you in a downward spiral of anxiety, depression, and frustration. So yes, there is a high degree of anxiety with health anxiety, and it is an actual illness and it does exist, but just know that you are safe in your body and the body functions normally. You have to be reassured that your body functions normally and not be alarmed by any medical info that you do receive from your doctors. And it's hard, but that persistent fear is there, when you get medical advice, either from Google or from a friend, or if you look up something online, just try not to get so in your head about it. As difficult as it may seem, the best way to get through is to feel safe in your own body. Well, that's it for today, my friends. Remember to just breathe, relax, know that you are in a safe space and that you are not alone. I am right there with you. That's all for today. Till next time.